Hello friends, this video on electric charges and fields part 6 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 5 before going ahead with part 6. So let us see what is charging by induction. So what is this induction? Induction is nothing but it says that if there is an uncharged object and there is a charged object, when the uncharged object is brought near the charged object will induce some charges on the uncharged object. So that means in this case, both the objects will come near to each other, but they will not touch each other, right? Somewhat like this. Let us again suppose that we have this negatively charged metal object. This is negatively charged metal object and this is an uncharged sphere, that is neutral. Now when this sphere, so initially what is the first step again in this case? First step is negative metal object and metal sphere is neutral, right? In the second step what happens? I take the sphere closer to the charged object. Now what happens? Separation of charge takes place here also. So the concept still remains same whatever you do, right? So separation of charge takes place. What is separation of charge? Since this object is negatively charged, so the positive charges will come towards this end and the negative charges will come towards this end. So this is known as separation of charge, right? So separation of charge takes place. Now in this case, let us suppose that initially if you ground, now we are talking about conductors, right? So if you ground a conductor, whatever extra charge is there, it will flow to the earth, correct? Now let us suppose when this separation of charge takes place, if you ground this conductor, what will happen? This these electrons which is getting accumulated at this end, this will go and get grounded. This will get disposed safely to the ground. So these electrons will go. So that means only positive charges will remain in the sphere. Now let us suppose since this is negatively charged and the positively charged remains, after this electrons got grounded, you remove the ground. You remove the option of earthing, right? In this case, what are you doing? First, separation of charge is taking place, right? Then, the charges or the electrons which are getting accumulated at this end, you earth them to the ground. So, once they are grounded, what happens? Your object is positively charged because these electrons are grounded. So, the electrons will go to the ground safely. So, after this, if you look at the sphere, what is remaining in the sphere? Only positive charges. So the sphere becomes positively charged. Right? So in the second step, separation of charge takes place. In the third step, electrons are grounded. And in the last step, your sphere is positively charged. So what happens? Initially the sphere was neutral and now it is positively charged. So here the sphere did not come in contact with the metal object, right? But still it got charged. So this is another way of charging. But here did you observe an important thing here? The sphere was the object was negatively charged. So it induced positive charges on the sphere. Similarly, if this object would have been positively charged, let us suppose this object, the metal object was positively charged and the sphere was neutral. Now when the sphere was brought near the object, so what will happen? The negative charges will accumulate at this side and the positive charges will accumulate at this end. So therefore in this case, the metal sphere will become negatively charged. So when the metal object is negatively charged, the sphere becomes positively charged. Similarly, when the metal object is positively charged, the sphere becomes negatively charged. So now let us have a quick review of conduction and induction and compare the two. charging by conduction versus induction. What happens in conduction? In conduction, the uncharged body gets charged with the same kind of charge. Same kind of charge means the same kind of charge which the charged body has. That means if the charged body is positively charged, your uncharged body after charging will become positive. Right? For example, this was your charged body, right? So if the charged body is positive, then the uncharged body, when it comes in contact with this, will also become positive. Similarly, if the charged body is negative, the uncharged body, when it comes in contact with it, it becomes negative. That is what happens in case of conduction. Whereas in case of induction, induction induces the uncharged body with the opposite kind of charge. For example, if your metal object is positively charged, then the neutral object, when it comes closer to this object, it becomes negatively charged. Similarly, when the metal object is negatively charged, the uncharged object, when it is brought nearer to this, it is induced with positive charge. So it becomes positively charged. So conduction will always charge the uncharged object with the same kind of charge, whereas induction will always charge the object with the opposite kind of charge. Now that we have discussed about what is electric charge, how do we charge objects, what are the three different ways of charging, that is rubbing, conduction and induction, it is time to discuss about the properties of electric charge. What are the basic properties that an electric charge exhibit? Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.